What is your name, ma'am?
My name is Deborah Mowry.
And Deborah, what are you doing out here?
I'm here to show our Representative Ted Poe that a lot of his constituents think that he's taken the wrong path, that we're wanting him to do his job. We're wanting him to find a way to raise the debt ceiling and to compromise. That's how things get done in Washington.
Do you think that the debt ceiling debate is a place where we should be discussing?
Of course not. Of course not. It was raised, what, 19 times under Reagan, 7 times under Bush. I mean, it's a routine thing that has nothing to do with the budget. It shouldn't be tied to that at all. The Republicans are using it, taking it hostage.
I like that word, taking it hostage. Thank you very much. Hello, ma'am. What's your name?
Lori Christian.
And Lori, what are you doing here?
I am here to register my dissatisfaction with my representative's inability to come to an agreement to get our government back on track.
Now, who's your representative?
Ted Poe.
Now, what do you think about the debt ceiling debate?
I think they're acting like small children and being partisan instead of governing. They need to consider that elections happen every 4 years, not every day. And instead of acting like spoiled teenage brats, they need to grow up and govern and come to an agreement and get to some sort of middle ground.
Now, do you think that the debt ceiling debate is a place where we should be discussing entitlements and other budgetary issues?
Frankly, no.
Do you remember of any time before that this has been done in this manner?
No.
Do you have any beliefs as to why it is that they're doing it at this time?
It's an attempt to hold the country hostage right now.
So actually, would you consider that something that they're doing, taking advantage of this situation to promote their ideology?
Absolutely.
Okay, well, look, thank you very much, Laura, for the interview. What is your name, ma'am?
Demetria Nelson McNulty.
And Miss McNulty, what are you doing here?
I'm protesting Ted Poe.
Why are you protesting Ted Poe?
Because Ted Poe is partisan. He's working for part of his constituents and not the rest of his constituents. It's not a one-sided deal when you go into public office. You have to take care of your whole constituent area.
Now, do you think the debt ceiling, that entitlement reform belongs in the debt ceiling debate?
I really don't.
And why do you think that they're using the debt ceiling debate as a place to try to actually get entitlement reforms passed?
Because that's usually what Republicans do. They don't care about the middle class. They don't really care about the senior class. But the senior class think they do, Republicans, when all in all, what they want to do is crash everything and take care of the 1 or 2%.
Now, as you know, we have a counter-protest here with some Tea Partiers as well. Would you consider these guys misinformed or simply just bad?
I consider these guys ignorant. They're not misinformed. They know what's going on. They actually know. They know the debt ceiling needs to be raised. They didn't complain when George Bush raised it 8 times. They didn't complain when Ronald Reagan had it raised 18 times. They have never complained about raising the debt ceiling. But they're complaining now because you have Obama in the office. They really don't want that black man telling them anything. So they rather go for broke than go for right.
Well, Miss McNulty, thank you very much for the interview.
You are very welcome.
What is your name, ma'am?
My name is Pamela Spivey.
And Miss Spivey, what are you doing here?
I'm here to protest how Ted Poe has not been recognized on both sides of the fence. The Democrats, the left wing, as well as the right wing.
Now, do you think that the debt ceiling debate is where we should be debating entitlement reform?
I think the debt ceiling is what we should be debating, and we should not be tackling all the rest of the stuff.
So you are in for a clean bill as well?
Yes, sir.
Were you a supporter of President Obama?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Will you be voting for President Obama in 2012?
Without a doubt.
Well, thank you very much for the interview, Ms. Spivey.
Thank you.
What is your name, sir?
Robert Jones.
Mr. Jones, let me ask you something. What do you think about the debt ceiling debate that's currently occurring?
Well, I think that they need to separate the debt ceiling from the ants. You know what I mean?
In other words, it should be an up and or down vote, and it has nothing to do with anything else.
That's exactly right. I mean, and then you talk about that other country. They're not going to be able to work that out in a week or 10 days or 5 months.
So you would consider it an irresponsible act what they're actually trying to do right now?
Yes, I hope so. There's some responsible people on both sides up there. They just need to find out who they are and let them work it out.
Now, do you think entitlement spending needs adjustment? Am I correct?
I'm very concerned about them touching the entitlements, if you know what I'm trying to say.
Yes, I understand. In other words, you're not for them touching Medicare or any of the social programs?
Not unless it benefits the people who it was designed for.
Now, do you believe that the wealthy in this country needs to contribute a bit more, given that they were the recipients of most of the wealth created over the last 30 years?
Yes, I noticed on television last night that 400 of Ford's top 100 executives make more than 60% of the people in America together.
Now, why do you think the Tea Party type that we see out here this way, why do you think they cannot see what you can actually see as a resident here in Kingwood?
Well, I don't know. I mean, when you say that 400 of the top Fortune 500 CEOs make more money than 60% of the population combined in the United States, is a very serious matter for us. You can see where this country drifted if we're not careful.
Thank you very much.
They'll be marking the streets over here like they are over there in Asia.
Yeah, I've seen this in the third world. I'm originally from the third world, and I've seen it. Thank you very much, sir, for your interview.